This is my Thai-inspired roasted eggplant and shrimp salad. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you again. Thanks for joining me once again in my house where I'm gonna cook some Thai-inspired food with you. Eggplant! They're so popular these days, right? I mean, I get texts with eggplant. This warm, it's hot basically. It's very hot, but that's okay. I'm not mad about it because I chose to live this life. Right? So I deal with it because I enjoy it. I'll just keep telling myself that. But I also don't mind it because it means it's summer. Pool parties, outdoor grilling, nice refreshing food and drinks. And this dish is no exception. This dish is inspired by a traditional Thai salad called yam makua. Makua means eggplant, yam means salad, right? So today I'm gonna make my version of a Thai eggplant salad with you. Along with this eggplant, which is the star of the dish, I'm also gonna incorporate a protein, and what I'm using today is shrimp. I have raw shrimp, and I also have this. I wanna introduce this to you. This is dried shrimp. Dried shrimp you can get at any Asian grocery store, and it's very versatile. It has a lot of intense, compact flavor. Right? So if ever you see this, grab some, use a little bit because it goes a long way, and keep the rest in the freezer for your next treat. Other than the eggplant and the shrimp, the ingredients that you're also gonna need are some peanuts and some thinly sliced shallots or red onion, some limes, some garlic, some Thai chilies, and some cilantro, pretty much the standard Thai-based ingredients. And with that, fish sauce, of course, and a little bit of brown sugar.
Or sugar, or palm sugar, or white sugar, or honey, or agave nectar, something.
Right? Okay. The first thing I want to do is tackle the eggplant. Normally, this dish uses smoked eggplant, or pao. Pao means like smoked. So what they do is they kind of just fire roast it, so the skin gets completely charred, and then you peel the skin and you use the inner part of the eggplant to get some flavor. And it's a very soft, mushy dish, almost like you're making a Greek baba ganoush, which is an eggplant-based kind of salsa. It's delicious, but I'm doing it this way because I actually like the texture of the skin, and I also don't want to turn on the grill just for this dish. But if you are grilling, make sure you do this next time, and you know, maybe do it before you do your burgers and your steaks, and you'll have an interesting, cool side dish to go with everything else. I have these eggplant cut into little wedges, and if you notice, I cut them into pretty hefty sized wedges because then after they're roasted, I'm just gonna slice them into big, large dices and toss it into this salad as a whole concept. Sounds good, right? So I'm gonna coat this now with some spray oil. This is just good old salt, and I'm gonna salt this because salt brings out flavor. I'm gonna place this in the oven for about 15-20 minutes just so it gets a nice little roast, and the oven's set at 350 degrees. Step one is to get the eggplant roasting, be it on the grill, be it on your range top, or be it in the oven. Step two, I turned on some water, some poaching liquid for my shrimp. Now, step 2A is to make the dressing. The reason why I want to make the dressing second A is because this dried shrimp, I want to rehydrate a little bit. They are really dry. I mean, it's like, dried shrimp is almost like shrimp jerky. It's sun-dried, and they shrink, and they're small and tough, and they have a lot of punch and flavor. And I personally love that aggressiveness, but it may not seem very attractive in American translation, but it's very crucial in Asian cooking. So what I want to do is get this going because I want to rehydrate this shrimp a little bit. They're really tough to chew and bite on as is. So adding the liquid and doing everything right now into it will allow and give the shrimp time to rehydrate and really give out some flavor and also puff up a little bit, so it texturally is a little bit more interesting. And with that, I'm also going to add a couple of garlic cloves. Now I add a couple of Thai chilies. Remember, these are very, very spicy, so you need to gauge your palate and your guest's palate when you work with these chilies. A few cilantro stems, get in there. Ah, messy day, oh my gosh. Keep it together, Arnold. This juicer has become really close to me during this self-quarantine time because it reminds me of like using a stress ball, except with a stress ball, I just get a little knot right here. But with this, I get juice. See, that's 3 limes. Let's do one more lime. Sounds good to me, right? Yes! Now I'm gonna add my favorite go-to fish sauce. Oh, I need to go to the store. Equal parts lime juice, equal parts fish sauce. That's about 3 tablespoons of sugar, and I am just going to shake this up. Do you guys remember the shake weight? It's hot, and I just want to share with you this candid, dumb moment that I just had. Earlier when I prepped the Thai chilies, I had paper towels to wipe off my knife, and I also had right next to that a paper towel to dab my perspiration. Well, I just grabbed the wrong towel. So now not only am I hot, I feel like I just rubbed Tiger Balm all over my face. And I don't want to dip my face into milk to calm it down. I'm just gonna pretend like I got a chemical peel and it hasn't set in yet. Let's talk about cilantro. I use it a lot because it's very common in Thai cooking. That's, I think, the first flavor of herb that you think of when you think of Thai cooking. Then we go to Thai basil, then we incorporate mint. But I just remembered that I have this left over from the night before, and it is dill. Dill is actually called pak chi lao. So in Thai, cilantro is called pak chi, and pak chi means cilantro or parsley. We have pak chi, and then we have pak chi phalang. So we have American parsley, which is Italian parsley, and then we have pak chi lao. Pak chi lao is this, it's dill, and that means Laotian cilantro, basically. Pak chi lao is used in a lot of yum dishes, salad dishes. Look, it's a Thai lesson with you guys. And because the ladies in my mom's kitchen were predominantly from Laos, I was very much exposed to this as a child. And it's a great flavor in a lot of fresh salads that are eaten with sticky rice. So this is a shout out to all my kitchen ladies back in Nashville that have raised me and developed my palate. There are definitely variations to this dish. Now, if you didn't want to use shrimp, traditionally you could use pork, but if you don't want to use any protein at all, just use the peanuts for texture, that's fine. This is also sometimes served with soft-boiled or medium-boiled egg on the side when you eat it with rice, and it's just an excitement of flavor. Chaotic beauty. It's so good. Bright, textural, the runny yolk kind of cools down the heat of the dressing. Now, it doesn't matter what size shrimp you use because look what I'm doing here. I am just chopping up the shrimp into smaller pieces. So look. Oops. Oh no! Well, I think this is enough shrimp to work with today. Now the water started boiling. I turned it down. And I'm just gonna place my shrimp now into this water bath. That's how I want it to slide right there. And it almost immediately starts to pink up, right? You can see that. Now I'm just gonna let it go slow. I don't wanna overboil it because what happens when you do that is the rolling boil starts kind of bruises the meat, I think, and it breaks it down a little bit. And I kind of wanna still have this very nice pillowy texture of shrimp in this dish. And we're done. I just pulled these out of the oven. You can see they're slightly roasted, right? They're still very warm. My goal here is to have it absorb the salad dressing. And by exposing the inner flesh, when I pour the dressing into it, it's pretty porous, so it's just gonna soak up all that good sauce and flavor. And these are still warm. I just pulled them out of the oven, and I'm okay with that because it's also it's almost like when you're at the spa and you get a facial and they steam up your face so your pores can open up so it can get whatever treatment you're getting on your face. This is kind of the same concept. I want to heat up the skin so the pores open up and the dressing soaks in. I love analogies, oh my God. I'm going to add some thinly sliced red onion. You could also use shallots. Shallots are used a lot in Thailand. Poached shrimp, crushed peanuts, like this. I have my cilantro, picked a little bit of dill, not too much. Now, if I'm gonna use this dill, I probably wanna do 2 parts cilantro to 1 part of dill. We take this gorgeous dressing, which smells, oh my goodness, so brilliant. And I wanna get that good dried shrimp in there too. I wanna show you, I want you to see this. Can you see? Ooh, wowzers. Now, make this in advance if you want to, because the longer it sits, the more flavor is gonna absorb into the meat of the eggplant, right? Now, if you grilled it and decided to peel them, you can eat it right away. You can eat it warm or cold. There are no rules, as long as you eat it. Now, look. This is what we do in my world, in my home. Who am I cooking for anyways? I'm not crying, it's sweat. But I'm gonna taste this now with pride. Get a little shrimp, get a little cilantro, get a little dill. What? Are you kidding me? You might not make another dressing ever again. This is, oh, holy my goodness. I mean, this is a salad. This is really cool. I can't wait for you guys to make this. It's euphoric. I mean, seriously, look at it. Even in a deli container, it looks so inviting.